Hello amazing family, this is Hadija from the Parenting Mindset Shift, a place for parents to find clarity, confidence, peace and joy to their parenting journey. And today we are prepping for 2024. Yes, let's get ready. Let's get ready for 2024. So today I wanted to share the different steps that I go through to get ready for my 2024 to be the best parents that I want them to remember. My focus is to be the best parent that I can be with everything and information that I have in 2024. I'm going to share with you the different things that I think about, the process that I'm using, and like I said, the focus here is on parenting. I have a whole circle of things that I focus on every year, and sometimes a few times in a year. And today the focus is really the family and being the parent for our children. But I have a journal and I'm going to share that with you. But basically what I'm doing is usually trying to focus on different aspects. In my journal I have the spiritual, the health, personal growth, relationship that are separate from family, give back and community, finances, skills, business and professional, and adventure. Those are the different area that is like my life goal or ideal that I like to try to focus on. And every year you don't have to put your 100 energy on all of them, but sometimes you need to make sure that you pay attention of those, because those are what brings you joy, those are what brings happiness in your life and fulfillment. So you want to make sure that you address all of that. But today I only focus on the goal of family, and in particular being a parent, being the best version of yourself as a parent. So what do I do? How do I go about it? And so the first things first is reflection. I reflect on 2023. I reflect and think of the memories that I built, the different things that brings joy in our parenting, the different lessons that I learned. And 2023 is a year, I should say. It's not over. We are still in 2023. And 2023 was an opportunity for me as a parent to step up my game and do some teaching, do some learning, to share all those teaching and learning with my kids, depending of their age. We have the different conversations. So you have to reflect on what was important for you this year and did you accomplish it. So and we're going to go about the planning, but in 2022 planning, you have a theme, a word, that's something that you want to focus on in your parenting. So now reflect on knowing if you did that, if you focus on those aspects. So for me last year, my reflection was the word that I use in every aspect of my life goals was expansion. And the reason I use that is because there is different aspect that I want some expansion to see, and it was in my health, in my professional and career and my business, and I wanted to have my business to grow, to expand. I wanted to have my relationship with my kids to grow and to expand, and different aspect like that. So now by reflecting, I want to make sure that I'm not beating myself up. The goal is not to be like, I didn't do it, it didn't really happen. The goal is to just have those growth questions. Why it didn't happen, why it happened beautifully, and in what aspect did I see the expansion, and what are the things and action that I did or did not do so I can continue learning the lesson for next year. So I am not shaming myself, I am not making myself guilty. I'm empowering myself with different solutions, and I'm kind with myself on saying, hey, I didn't do it the way I wanted to do it. Let's continue and let's do that next year. It's never too late to keep on doing. As long as you don't give up, you still have the opportunity to do the best that you can do. So this is really the way I see it. I'm not focusing on feeling guilty for myself because I didn't accomplish all the different things that I want to accomplish, or I didn't fulfill certain goals or things like that. I'm focusing on the now and what I can do later, and what are the lessons learned that I can then modify so then later it doesn't happen. And as long as we are waking up in the morning, I just feel like it's a beautiful opportunity to tell ourselves that, hey, this is another day for me to keep on trying. You don't give up the work, you don't give up the effort that you're providing to yourself. So the number one, like I said, it's reflecting on 2023, all the different things that have happened, all the different lessons that you learned, and you share that and you reflect that. Of course, my ideal way to do those type of reflection is to write it down. So I have a couple of journals here, and I love journals. I just love journals. I'm using journals for different things in my life, and it's important for me to use the journal to then actually reflect on my 2021, 2020, and reflect on the different things that I wrote, on what I learned and what did I wanted to do for next year. So try to write it down. Writing down things, this is a second aspect that I do to prep for my 2024, to prep for every year. I write it down. I write everything down. The silliest things, the silliest reminders that I need to write, I write it. And I think the whole concept of having a journal and to write it down, the things that you want to do, is very powerful. And there are so many research actually of the effect of writing things down, connecting with your brain. And actually, of course, there is this difference of writing it down on paper or on your laptop, but the whole connection of you writing it down in your brain is beautiful and is imprinting in your brain to make it happen, because now you write it, you see it, and you reflect in a different way, and your reflection is more of a growth than more of feeling guilty, because you write it down, you know what you learn from it, and you know what a different solution that you can provide for yourself. So write it down. Find a journal, any journal. I have different journal that I use, and I have this year I'm going to be using. Let me show you one that I've been using. This year I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to actually put the link below of where you can get it. But it's very simple. It's very simple. It's just a little bit harder than I usually get. Sometimes I use soft ones. In the past, I've been using the minimalist one that I use, and this one is, so like I said, I'm using journal for different things. I have a journal for my spiritual journey. When I go to the mosque and I'm learning the different things, I have a journal just for that, all those learning that I have all throughout the year, and I'm putting the year in here. I don't know if you will be able to see it, but I put my initial and then the year 20. This one is 2021. And this is the journal that I will be using for, so this one, the red one, was from last year. I use a journal to collect my thoughts. I use a journal to also gather the different things that I'm learning throughout the day, the different idea that pop ups in my day. And I have like a kind of a legend that I'm using in this journal. So I have like being an eternal student, a book read notes, and I have the mom life category also. And in the mom life, it will be all the different meetings that I have with the school, the different password that I may need for different kind of school, or whatever the solution, whatever the things. Maybe you have all the different things that you do for all the different category of your life. And for me, it's just a way to categorize my life and organize my thoughts. So try to journal those different things, and it's going to help you share the different things that you're learning. So after you did that, you're reflecting, in your reflection, and I'm going to have some prompt that maybe you can use for your journal. The first one will be your proud moment, your proud wins, your memories. What are the memories that I created with my children? What are the memories that I created with my children this year? And trying to be intentional, because this one is hard. This one is hard because it's something that we go with our life every day. We have this intention to make it beautiful and memorable, but then we just go on with our daily routine and we don't realize that we can make anything special. It doesn't have to be grandiose. It can be anything memorable in the moment. In reading your books, you're doing your routine and you're reading your books, you make it something funny, you make it a phrase, you make something that they will remember, that they will let us say, oh, mama always said this, or mama always says that, or papa say always, this is the phrase of papa and this is the phrase of mama, or this is her style, the way she entered the house and when she says something funny, or the way they're leaving the house, or the way she's dancing in the kitchen when she's cooking. Anything can be very teeny tiny, but they can remember the whole childhood, create this whole vibe, this whole ambiance in the house. And like I said, it's not easy if you're not, you won't be able to do it if you're not intentional. If you're in a automatic mode and you're in a, how do you call it, the autopilot, it won't happen. You're just going to be cooking, getting dinner, and getting the routine done, and he needs to be in bed, and that's it. You just go with the motion. You need to be intentional in creating these memories. Try to reflect on the one that you did this year. Try to reflect on how you can make it happen next year. And like I said, throughout the day, in those little ways, the way you pick them up at school, there is something that they will remember. It can be a silly, like you making a joke every time you come and there's or a prank or something silly, or you can bring them something. I don't want to necessarily link it with food or anything like that, or a treat, but it can be something like that they will understand that you were thinking of them, you pick them up, and this is just for you, right? And like I said, the different ways. So just reflecting on the different things like that. And now the second one will be the moment of not to do. What is it that you disliked doing throughout 2023? What are the things that you didn't appreciate from yourself or the environment? What are the lessons that you can learn from that? Those are the things you can reflect and things, because the moment you know that there is something that you didn't like, those are the things that you now want to improve next year. And we will go with the plan for next year, but right now we want to focus on reflecting of what are the things that you did not want to see yourself to be. And what are the things that you are grateful for 2023. And I think 2023 is such a year that accentuate the gratefulness that we have in our daily life every day. And we had great opportunities to actually share that with our children of what are the things that we are grateful, as simple and basic. And I usually say to my kids not to repeat their things that are grateful for, because usually they will start with the basic of the house and the food and warm food. But in particular this year, that was so very simple but so important to be grateful for. And we want to accentuate those things, because the more grateful we are, the more content we feel, the more happier in some ways we appreciate and we feel, and the more we're also getting out of it. And to learn to always have this attitude of gratitude is so important. And it's something that personally I do on a daily basis, if not more than every day, but a couple of times during the day. I have a few reminders to remind myself to be grateful for things and appreciate, and just say it out loud so your children can hear you appreciate those things. And those are for me the moment where I'm modeling how I show the attitude of gratitude. I will be in the moment, very simple moment, and be like, you know, we go to school and we come back home and we arrive at home and safely. We arrive at home, we came across an accident and we come home and we arrive safely, and we need to say those things out loud. And we are eating in a good place, we're eating a warm food, and those things are very important to, like I said, say it out loud so they learn to see it as well. So because sometimes they just focus on the big thing that they are grateful for, but you need to be teaching them how to be grateful for the little things. And I always say how grateful I am to be their mother. I always want them to feel value in that aspect, making sure that they know that it's not a negative things. Like you want them to feel loved. Those are those aspects, making sure that you are grateful for them, and show in what aspect. So I know I'm focusing a little bit more there, but those are the different prompts that you can focus on. What was your win for this year? What was the things that you didn't want to do? What are the things that you're grateful for? The things that you can write it down and appreciate, and take those moments and pray for the people that needs it, and have those moments of giving back like that. You have it, pray for those that doesn't have it, and have those attitude all the time with your kids. So those are the things that I like to reflect for 2023, and of course there is different ways to do that, but I wanted to focus at least on that aspect. So now back to getting ready for 2024. 2024, the way I see it, again, there is different aspect of my goals that I do that, but now here we are focusing on being the parents we want them to remember, right? So I want to focus, like I said, every year I have a goal of one word, or maybe a theme, or maybe a topic that I want to focus with my kids. And I'm still looking for this. I don't have one specifically, and you don't have to have one. It can be it can be a phrase, it can be a sentence, it can be a couple of words that you want to focus on next year. So like I said, one year was communication, another year was clarity, and those things also clarity. The year that was clarity, it was focusing with my kids on, and I think it was in 2020, clarity and focusing on where I need to focus with them. And 2020 was the year of the pandemic, so of course we are here sometimes trying to focus on the academic, making sure that they are successful there. We want to make sure that they're eating healthy, but I think the focus that I needed for me to focus on was the mental health, and making sure that I was educating myself to better be present for my children. So you want to see, and of course now I realize mental health, I mean, all of those things needs to be throughout the year, but there is one focus, one little extra that you will do a little bit more that year, because of, and that's my second point that I'm looking at. I'm looking at the age of my child and see what is the need in that age, or even the age of the journey. So for instance, the year where my child is going out for college, that year prior to that, I needed to focus on something specific there for me to, and that's where the expansion was. The expansion was to make sure that my relationship was to the point where he's happy to come back home. He's enjoying to call us on the phone, like enjoying to just have a chit chat, have the simple conversation. Those little things were important for me, because the whole point of them leaving for college and then not being present to continue guiding them and give them the advice, or have this interaction to make sure that we are here for them, was important for me to make sure that I build that the year prior. And of course it's a whole life building, right? But like I said, the focus here was something specific. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I hope it's not too long, but I'm thinking maybe I can need to do a part 1 and part 2. The part 1 being reflection and the part 2 being the plan. So if it's too long, I may cut that. But now it wouldn't make sense that I said. I need to cut it now. That's fine, let's continue. That's fine. It's not going to be a too long video, but it's an important video for you to do it. So I'm not even cutting anything here. I just said out loud what I was thinking, but let's keep it to one video. You can do this, and you can do it part. I will put some timestamps so you can have clarity on it. But anyway, going back to the word and the phrase and the age of your child. Every age you will know what is the focus, what is the brain development on that age, and what is the need. And because the focus here is to make sure that you are present for them. It's not necessarily to just share what you think they need. It's to make sure that we know what they need and we are there doing it at this moment. We also understand, what they can understand, what are the things that they still need maturity level, what are the different conversation. But for that, you need to pay attention of the whole time prior to that. So what is the focus next year? For you on 2024? What are the age of your child and what is the focus? And so every year you will have different ones. And like I said, I'm not sharing mine yet because I don't really have it. I have different ones that I have in mind, which I will share once I have them. But the different ones can be, one of them that I have in my hand is being a great teacher, but like I want to still thinking about what that means. Being present, manifesting is one word. Expansion was also another one that I want to continue. Action was another word, to take action on different things, so make it happen. Impact was also another word, and focus was on one of them. I'm not sure where we're going to focus, but once you know the phrase that you want to focus, you want to also think, and that's the second aspect of the planning, focus on how you're going to embody that. And the embodiment of any action that you're doing is so important. I cannot even tell you how important it is to match those words that you're saying with your action, with your body. You're actually doing what you're saying you're doing, but you actually embody the things you're doing. So if your words this year is to be more caring, have more compassion, this needs to be seen when the person is seeing you. When the person look at you, they don't want to be looking at you with frowning faces. If your whole body says, I'm kind, your whole body needs to say that you are kind. And if your body says that you're committed, which is another word, commitment, your whole body needs to show that. And what are the steps you're going to take? So those are the things that you reflect on. What are the steps you're going to take to make sure that you are embodying those things? And for me is the practice. You are practicing what you're saying, and to practice you have to have a plan of action. You have to have a game plan to execute and apply. It can be a reminder that you need. If it's something that you need to because you're not you, it's not really you at the beginning, but you want it to become you. You need to have reminder all over you. It can be post-it style, it can be a reminder on your phone, it can be you have a planner, you have your daily intention. Every morning you're saying some kind of affirmation that then you becomes that person. But you have to create a system that those words are matching who you are, what you're doing, and how you do it. Otherwise it won't work. Otherwise it's just going to be about praying, oh, I want to be the parents that don't yell, and you don't have any action plan. It's not going to work. I'm really trying to be kind here, but they're making me upset. No, you have to have a game plan. If your intention is not to yell, but you know that when you come from work and you go home and you'll be yelling like the usual you, so then prior to that, in the car, you have a game plan. You have a game plan of how you're going to be the person that is not yelling. You inhale, exhale, whatever you need, but you need to find a system to go back to what you want to do. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And that's the third part that I'm saying. Like, you need to educate yourself on how you can have those game plan apply. What are the things you're doing to learn those skills? Are you reading books? And I know it may sound very simple and basic, but those simple and basic plan are the thing. Like, being the parents you want them to remember is work. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of practice. So we are here, parents, telling our children that if they want to be a soccer player or a tennis player or whatever they want, they need to practice, they need to put the work, they need to educate themselves, they need to be curious. We need to do the same thing about parenting. We need to do the same thing about parenting. We need to put the effort, we need to educate yourself, we need to practice those things. It's not going to happen just by, I'm praying, or I'm saying, I'm trying. No, you're not trying enough. You're doing it, because we wouldn't accept this from our children. And I'm a little bit passionate about it, because that's really my passion. But I really feel like sometimes we think things are happening because we say it's going to happen. It's not going to happen if you don't put the work. Like I say, if you say that to your kid about soccer, about tennis, about any kind of sports or any kind of activities that they're doing, apply that for yourself and do the work. Educate yourself. Read those books. And the way you're reading those books, don't just read the book. Read a book, take a chapter, and take action. You take that chapter and you'll be like, ooh, that chapter about applying what I'm learning, well, that's a good one, because I don't always do that. So let me just do that. Depending on the religion you are, when you read the script, your script, you're reading it and you want to apply it. And the way you do that is by reading it, look at those actions that you can do and apply it. You don't just read it like a regular book. You want to become what you are reading, because you appreciate and you know that it's going to help you. So here we are thinking that there is not maybe a straightforward manual to be a parent, but there are guidelines that we can follow. There's a framework that we can have, but we need to put the work and we need to apply them and we need to practice. And to practice that, you need to be in a situation where it's a little bit challenging. Otherwise, you're not practicing on anything. So of course, you're going to have your child in front of you that is going to be challenging you, because the whole point of practicing is to have that challenge in front of you. Otherwise, you can pray for well-being and ease instead of patience, right? So that's the mindset that I want us to have in 2024. I want us to go to 2024 thinking that we can be the parents we want to become. It's completely possible to be joyful and happy and fulfilled. And by doing that, by being that, we are showing the example of our children of how to be, because they don't know. They are learning. Those are not the things they're learning at school. They're learning at home. How are we managing our stress? How are we managing our emotion? How are we managing all the different tasks and chores and activity that we do at home? Are we always upset, always screaming, always frustrated, always like this? Or are we just taking it as it is and show them with the smile, or even telling them, I don't like to do that, but guess what, it needs to be done, and let's just do it with the smile because it needs to be done anyway, right? So are we teaching, giving them this energy here? And the whole house needs to be like that. It's very important to have this whole dynamic, and it's not easy, but it takes practice. So for you, 2024, let's just get ready. Let's get educated about the things that we need for next year. What is it that you need for next year? And I'm going to quickly look at my notes because I didn't really have anything, but quickly at my notes to make sure that I did not forget anything. But the things that I want us to reflect and think of next year is to make sure that we know that we are always in the progression. We are always making movement toward the goal that we want to do. and we are aligned with the values that we are. So we want to make sure that we have the alignment with our values and joy into it. So the progression, you align with your values, your words match your action, and then you have the joy in it. And that's how you are, you can find clarity, confidence, and peace in your parenting journey. Those are the different things that I remind myself to make sure that I have that, because with that I can then teach and model my children how to be fulfilled and productive in life by myself being productive and fulfilled and sharing all the different things that I'm learning. So those are the things that I think are going to be helpful. So your Chouette connection tool this week is to actually do that. Do the reflection for 2023, get ready for 2024, and write it down. What are the things that you want to do? Have a journal. Try to journal your journey as a parent and how you evolve and how you grow. And those are the things that are going to help you be the parents you want them to remember. So thank you so much. Did I remind you to actually subscribe to the channel? I don't think I did. So let me remind you, subscribe, hit that subscribe button now. Comment the different things that you do to reflect on 2024 and reflect on 2023, and what are your plans for 2024. Maybe if you can share the word that you want to use, the phrase that you want to use as a reminder for yourself. And something that I like to also remind myself is that there is nothing that we are receiving that we cannot handle. Anything that is in front of us, that is in our heart, we can handle it. We just need to find the tools, the key, the things around us to make it happen, but we can do it. So go with 2024 ready and say to yourself that I believe I can be the parents I want them to remember, and I can be joyful, full of clarity, confidence, and peace and joy in my parenting. Just say that to yourself, and I promise you it's going to make a difference. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you at the next video next year, actually in 2024. Bye bye.